grew up coming to this market because my family is an organic farm in Chase, BC. And so my parents started coming before I was born.
I've loved coming here as a customer, as a community member, and it's really welcoming and awesome. And I was able to talk to some of the other vendors about what it was like. And so then that was last year, and then this year I decided to go for it.
We are a home-based business. We are trans-fat-free bakery. We don't use lard, shortening. We make everything with butter. I am doing maybe for the last 8 years, but I'm pastry chef from Europe for 36 years, specializing in cakes, wedding cakes, and we do market. I love it. That's great. It's a great opportunity for my kids to learn, experience, hard work.
It's like advertising, yeah. So even if we don't sell a lot of product, we see a lot of people when we come here.
I think the biggest part of it for me is the chance to get out in the community and discuss what I'm doing and the purpose of trying to be good to our bodies and good to the planet. A really great exposure for my products as well, so it's definitely the place where I make the biggest sales. And it's great to be a part of the community and talk to everybody and learn from other vendors, and that's awesome.
Because it's a direct-to-customer, you get to meet your customers and you can develop a relationship with them. They see your life and watch your children grow. It's a really unique kind of experience.
Now it's becoming very diverse, and you find people from all walks of life, especially with the coupons that the government has given people.
Okay.
Now we're finding a whole array of different customers and people at the market.
I really enjoy it because I see so many different people every week. It's great for me because I like being here. I feel like I'm part of this community as well. And if you're running late, people will help you set up or whatever. Really lovely that way. So it's great for me to get out and engage with community members I might not otherwise meet. And I see lots of people here that sometimes come to the market even on their own and do lots of visiting and chatting and that kind of thing. So it's a great place to come and connect.
It's very varied. You see all kinds of different people coming here. I think the main thing that you see is people wanting to develop a relationship with the people that are growing their food and know where their food is coming from.
It definitely is a huge kind of booster to the local economy. It provides an output and an outlet for local producers to sell their goods.
Develop the local economy to keep money local, I think, is the biggest function of the market.
It's also a really important community space. Like, there's a lot of community groups that come here to promote events, to fundraise, to educate about different issues, from genetically engineered foods to Parkinson's awareness groups and the SPCA. There's just a whole range of people who participate. And it's a really important place just for friends and families to gather. It's a public space, it's out in the open, and it's more accessible. And I think that's a really important function in the city too.
Lots of people who sell at the market also buy from other people at the market, so as a vendor we're also shoppers. It also provides a community place where people can gain information. Lots of people ask me farming or gardening questions. It provides a link to the greater community for people.
It tells me that people are starting to learn to ask the questions and becoming really interested in the origins of their stuff.
So you're dealing with food, it's a different thing. You have to, through certain levels, steps.
I think that this is a natural progression. The factory farming that we've just really, was introduced in the 50s isn't very sustainable. And I think in the next couple years that we're going to see an increase in price, number one, from the produce coming from California. And I think availability also will decrease. This avenue for people to get their food is going to become more and more important. It's a very sustainable way for people to get their food, and I think it's fantastic.
The way that the market connects people in the community with locally grown food sold at the market is a lot more environmentally conscious, the way that it is grown. And it allows people to have a different connection with what they're eating and be a kind of more active participant in their food system. And I think it's both a real interest in society, but also I think it's a trend that's happening. In bigger stores, there's also sort of a danger that where people are becoming more actively engaged with getting local food. They might buy something that's BC grown, but they still don't necessarily know how it's grown. So I think the market really it really closes those gaps in knowledge and in relationships between the producers and the consumers of food. So the people who are buying at the market, they can ask exactly how something was grown, whether pesticides were used or even just growing techniques for their own garden knowledge.
Is on to cross Seymour Street. The walk right is on.
I think I was the first with the mural. It would have been 96 or 97. I had the back of the building painted a really lovely blue. And as soon as I had painted it, there was graffiti. I painted it the third time, graffiti. So fourth time, I thought, okay, I'm going to do something different this time. At that particular time, because when I saw the exhibition in Vancouver at the Vancouver Art Gallery, there was Matisse's jazz cutouts. At the end of his life, he had severe arthritis. He either would draw with a long stick, and he did the Stations of the Cross in Vance, but he also would get art students to paint papers, and he could use scissors. So he would cut out these shapes, and this was his jazz series. I asked Steve and Laura if we could maybe do this. The wall was painted outside. It was absolutely fresh. We took the images from Matisse's jazz cutout series and transferred those images onto the wall. That's how it came about. And after that, I never had graffiti. We've got a lot of things going on in the arts, the whole spectrum in Kamloops. I think we've grown considerably. When I first came here, art gallery was just starting. From where we started 35 years ago, even 40 years ago, I think we've made incredible progress. But we've made progress because of the citizens. Food is very much part of our culture. Food as sort of a social medium.
We're in our 6th year. When I first opened, it was just an art gallery. It happened really quick. I was putting my art in this art gallery that was going to open in our old location. The woman decided she didn't want to open it anymore, and she was like, you have all these ideas. She's like, every time you come in, you're going off about, the art we are. The original vision was always to have a place of no judgment, acceptance. I don't adjudicate the art. If you want to be in here and I have space, I will put you up. Same with the food. We try to appeal to everyone. We don't try to just make it vegetarian. We try to have everything so that everyone feels welcome. So that's kind of our goal with. It creates the atmosphere, for one. Even if we don't sell any art in a day, it still is bringing people in. Art and creating a community with the artists. It's different than just ordering stuff in and selling it. You're creating a personal relationship with each artist and kind of get their art out there. I would say it's very diverse. It's evolving. It's talented. There's a lot of talented people in Kamloops. When I first opened, 6 years ago, not just talking about the art we are, but just talking about Kamloops and kind of observing downtown and what's kind of happened. I'm seeing more events happening, more festivals, more, the farmers market is getting bigger. Everything's kind of slowly getting bigger. For me, the art we are was inspired by the fact that we're all artists and that sometimes we just have to get triggered to find that artist in ourselves, which was the idea behind the art we are. So with food, it's just another expression of someone's creativity. The girls here that cook, it's like, that's their creativity. It's their painting, it's their pottery kind of thing. And I find it on the same plane as all other art forms. Any tourists from like bigger cities will be like, oh, this reminds me of Toronto and Vancouver. This is just like home. But then we also, the people that are from like Nelson, and they're like, this is just like home. It reminds them of either a big city or a small city sort of cafe, which is exactly kind of what I want. We definitely have people that, we have a couple customers that anytime they're in town, which is 3 times a year, they get off the plane and they come right here. Like we had one lady come in the other day and she looked around and she went, oh, so this is Canada.